Greetings, it is I, the Dalek Emperor. Welcome to another DALEKCAST. Our first question of the day comes from Didion Stolensberger. It reads, did you know that Optimus Prime ripped Decepticons' faces in the Bayformers films? Yes, I know, yes. D.O. Alucard fight Jojo vs Helsing. I'll be reacting to that probably after the DALEKcast, just so you know. Alberding has messaged, sent me something as well. It says here, I hate to say this, but you forgot to scroll down and read the description of me talking about my Lego Dalek saucer, so I've decided to put it here on YouTube. I didn't make it clear enough in my message I sent you. Make sure that you keep in mind that you both scroll down and read the description below. Next time I will send the pictures of my own mock builds, if that's alright with you. Okay, my description of the first one, also yes, sorry I forgot to read them. Okay, my description reads 2150 AD era Dalek saucer Lego era mock. Red Dalek, we have located the rebel machine. Gold Dalek, order, prepare to annihilate. The red and gold Dalek aboard the leaderboard. Dialogue from the second Dalek film, Dalek's Invasion of Earth 2150 AD. This is the Dalek that appeared in the second film, Dalek's Invasion of Earth 2150 AD. Out of all Dalek spacecrafts appeared back in those days of Doctor Who history, that is the most impressive Dalek spacecraft out of a bunch, in my opinion. Specification being somewhat of a large vessel, and the large spaceship capable of flying and travelling through space in a landing in a planet's atmospheric. The vessel equipped with landing gear as well as a single boarding ramp that is used for troops and prisoners. The interior had many corridors, a boarding ramp, prison cells, even a roboticization, whatever that says, room used to turn humans that had passed the intelligence test into robomen. There's also a spacious room that served as a gallery, and the sleeping area as robomen servants. The ship has a spacious main bridge, featured numerous control as well, and advanced sensors, communication arrays, armaments. As for armament, these ships are shown to fire plasma energy balls, and as evidence when a vessel of the class blew a human vehicle. When the Doctor arrived, when Peter Cushing's Doctor arrived with his companions for some reason in 2150 AD, the Dalek saucer supported as the fresh group of human prisoners and robomen in the mine of Bedfordshire, which is where the Daleks were planning to send explosives down the Earth's core so that they could pilot the planet and use it to control the galaxy and occupy it. Dalek ships received urgent news. 2 humans were run on the run in a stolen van, the Gold Dalek immediately gave orders successfully the primitive vehicles before heading back to their quarters in Bedfordshire. The ship soon landed like that much later, when the Dalek sabotaged the police constable Tom Campbell, ultimately resulted in the magnetic forces of the Earth's core being unleashed against the Daleks. The ship took off, attempted to escape, but engines were unable to counter the mechanism, and was forcibly pulled out of the sky, blown into places when it crashed, ending the Daleks' invasion of Earth, resulting in a crushing and humiliating defeat for the Dalek Empire itself. No, don't say that, please. Trivia, design as well. YouTuber Dark Raven Productions ultimately decided to have it appear on screen in the extreme popular webcomic and YouTube web series The Second Empire, albeit with a few alterations to its casing, even classified it as a Geysander-class Dalek gunship in the series itself. That's cool. That is very good. We have some suggestions from Alberding himself and some other people. As a matter of fact, we have Santa Claus, real or fake, Freddy Fazbear, real or fake, both are made by Bill's channel, Max the One, every single weapons in Half-Life made, suggested by Jamie, by Slick Eddie. Alberding has sent me some things as well. Dalek Bumps fan-made Dalek design competition winners made by Dalek Bumps. Blunt Brothers Productions, all you can eat. Excellent. Chase Down, Dre in Motion. Chase Down, Star Wars animation. Dre in Motion has also uploaded Rebel Fleet Flyby and Asteroid Escape. All credit will go to them. Yarn Hub, Attacked by a Battleship. Yes, all credit will go to Yarn Hub. Okay. No, when a liner attacked a battleship. Okay, cool. All credit will go to Bill's channel, Maxa1, Dalek Bumps, Blunt Brothers, Dre in Motion and Yarn Hub. Let's observe them now. Okay, so the first video indeed is the Bill's channel video. Let's observe it. Thank you, Giratina, for suggesting these two.
Hey, was that Santa Claus just flying across the New York skyline, or was that just somebody getting fancy with their computer software? I've got the answer right here, and it could prove that Santa Claus is real.
Oh, really?
But then again, maybe not. Either way, it's going to be an epic show, so don't go away. Hey guys, Bill here. In my last video, I told you about the avalanche of people asking me to do a Santa Claus real or fake video. I also asked you guys if you could help me out by sending in Santa Claus videos. Well, all I can say is, wow, thank you.
Oh, this is Christmas related. I don't normally react to Christmas related videos, but on Christmas, Giratina, but okay, whatever.
Last few days, the Chewy Piranhas and I have been pouring over a mountain of links sent in by you guys. It's been truly amazing. Now, to be honest, a lot of it was actually material for So Fake It's Funny. Like the kid who says he caught Santa Claus with his drone, or the video where the girl claimed to have mailed herself to Santa, and lots of other stuff along the same lines. But then, there was this one.
All your your next video ad needs is one AI video editor on Fiverr. And what
First sent in by Daniel Salmarin, Agar Games, Rapper King DK, and Val MSP, it shows Santa streaming across the skyline of New York City during the daytime. And you know what? The more I watched it, the more authentic it looked. But is there any way this could be real?
No,
Or are we just looking at another big, fat, computer-generated fantasy? Why don't we head down to 34th Street and see what we can find out? The first thing I did was take a look at the video itself. It's only about a minute long, but starts out with a young girl pointing to the sky. The camera swings up to see what she's looking at and reveals something strange crossing the sky. At about 26 seconds, the video replays the flying object, but this time it plays it slowed down and zoomed in. When we see it like this, it definitely looks like animals pulling a sled through the air. At first I was like, okay, so somebody cut out a picture of Santa in a sled from a magazine or something and then made it move across the sky in this video, like as in super fake. But the weird thing was the video replays it yet again, only this time it's zoomed way in.
Right.
And in this version, you can actually see the animals moving their legs. Hey, I'm not sure what's going on here, but this is definitely not the work of an amateur.
No.
Going back to the video, I checked into who actually posted this thing first. That turned out to be a channel called Paul Morey. Now, in the description box, Mr. Morey lets us know he also has another channel called Fun Toy Surprises. Then, just below that, he asked parents to show this video to kids who don't believe in Santa Claus. Paul, I'm reaching out to you today to see if you are the guy who recorded this video.
Actually, believe it or not, I'm the one who shot it, and a lot of people questioning it if I'm the one who shot it or if I just downloaded it from somewhere on the internet.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad we got the real guy here. So tell me a little bit about how this all came about.
Yeah,
well, actually, believe it or not, how the whole thing happened was very out of the blue. We actually were going to the city on Christmas
I'm assuming
Eve
it is fake.
my kids and my wife and I. And we were walking down the street, and my daughter just pointed up to the sky. And at the time, I didn't know what she was pointing at, so I kind of like hand the camera over, and I wasn't even sure what I'm looking at the moment because all I see was something just fly by really fast in the sky. And to be honest, I really didn't even notice what it was until we got home and I uploaded it to the computer. And so when I zoomed in on the image, all I seen was reindeer running, which was very, very surprising to me. And that's how the whole thing came about.
That's very interesting, but Paul, I need to ask you a very direct question. Is this video real or is it fake?
Probably fake.
Right, so Bill, I know that you're trying to find out if the video is real or fake, but all I can tell you that it's a real video. I shot it myself.
It's
and
a
if
real
somebody
video,
gave it to me, then I would probably question it just like you do. And all I can say is that I'm giving you the straight footage directly from the camera. So as long as the camera doesn't have some crazy effects built into it that it puts Santa Claus flying across the sky, then all I can say the video is real.
It has to be fake.
Well, to be honest, I'm not quite sure what to think. I mean, Paul didn't look particularly dishonest, like he would just make all this stuff up. It was definitely time to touch base with Bill's channel resident special effects expert, Peter Butler from the Bubblegum Monsters channel.
So I did a thorough examination of this video looking for the normal artifacts that you get, things like bad green screen or bad tracking or rough rotoscoping, and I couldn't find anything. So Bill, if you're looking for a smoking gun, I just don't have it.
Right.
It's gotta be real.
Hey, thanks, Peter, but wow, at this point, I was pretty stumped. So as a last-ditch effort, what I did was turn over everything I had to my research group, the Chewy Piranhas, and thankfully, they were able to come up with this, the official answer. But if you watch this show, you know there's no way I can tell you what's going on in here until you tell me what's going on up there, okay? Now, when I say go, what I want you to do is yell out as loud as you can, either real or fake, okay? Now, if you can't do that, it's okay to pause the video here, go to the comment section, leave your answer there, and then come back here and play the rest of the video to see if you're right or not, okay? Now, as a third way to go, which is really simple, is just to vote right up here. You ready? And go. Okay, did you do it? Good, because I'm going to get into this right now. There aren't that many days left till Christmas, and I want to find out if Santa Claus is real or not, don't you? Okay, here we go. And this is a quote. The video claiming to show a Santa-like sled being pulled across the New York City skyline has been examined. In addition to information provided by the filmmaker, special effects experts, and the Chewy Piranhas, we have also, examined police and Homeland Security reports for that day. That's pretty good. Now, while there were separate reports of an unknown object in the sky over New York City that day, there are no other visual records of that event.
Spring, a time of transformation. You know
God, no, none of all these bloody ants.
So therefore, our final determination is...
It's fake.
And are you ready for this? Here we go. Unknown. Oh, that is not exactly the smoking gun I was hoping for. But hey, if you're thinking about clicking away right now, do not do that. I have found something else very interesting about all this. You know our friend Paul who recorded the video? Don't you think it's kind of odd that he also runs a toy channel? Now, I know a lot of you cynical types are going to say, oh, he just made this video to promote his channel, but I'm not so sure about that. Another explanation might be he's kind of like an internet guy who works for Santa, kind of like a digital helper. I mean, think about it. If each kid got only 1 pound of gifts, that would still be millions of pounds of stuff that Santa would have to carry around. A guy like Paul could help Santa by forward positioning some of these toys. Do me a favor, head over to his toy channel, do a little snooping around, and then come back here.
You know, I was just about to give you a like until you showed me this. God damn it, dude. I was just about to give you a like until you showed me this, but he's promoting kids channels. It's fake. What the fuck? He's promoting content farm kids slop. Why? Look at this shit. It looks like fucking Minions and that. Oh, he's one of those Elsagate people, are they?
Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Paul just might have some links to the North Pole.
Yeah, probably, but he probably might have links to the North Pole, or he might have links to goddamn Elsagate videos.
I'm going to leave a link to his channel right up here.
There's a link to something. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Now we're getting some...
Hey guys, Bill here. We got some very strange real or fake submissions in this week, like giant fish being shot out of mud volcanoes in Taiwan. I don't even know what a mud volcano is. And then there's the mystery sea creature caught by fishermen in China. But the really big story this week is one I've been wanting to work on for a long time. And that's an important mystery many of you have asked me to solve. Is Freddy Fazbear's Pizza a real pizza place? Or is it just another big, fat, cheesy internet fake? Why don't we heat up the ovens and see what we can find out. One of my best leads on this thing came from a viewer by the name of Ariel Santana. Now what Ariel did was send me this photo along with an address which is close enough for me to drive to. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm heading there to see if this checks out. In the meantime, here's a little more background on this story. As many of you know, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is the location for the video game Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, according to Wikipedia, this video game was developed by a man named Scott Cawthon. The player must act as a night security guard at the pizza place, defending him or herself from the malfunctioning animatronic animal characters there.
This is like the most terrifying game I've ever played.
There is no lack of people doing Let's Play videos on this game. Many reviews have said it's one of the scariest video games ever. Now, on the one hand, there's lots of evidence pointing to the fact that Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is a real place. There are hundreds of pictures showing everything from buildings, t-shirts, signs, and people even enjoying the pizza. People have posted Yelp reviews, employees have posted videos.
There's no way it's real. There's no way Five Nights at Freddy's is a real place. There's no way it's real. Sure, maybe it's real now. Maybe it is real now. Yeah, sure, it may be real now. Specifically, you want to know why I think it might be real now? Well, because of a FNAF movie, and wouldn't surprise me if there was like a reveal of it. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me with all the promotion of the two FNAF films. It wouldn't surprise me if there would be a Five Nights at, if there would be a FNAF, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in real life. We've got something similar, but Chuck E. Cheese. But yeah, maybe they will make a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in real life eventually, because I think the closest one we have is the one in Universal.
Videos about suing the place. There's even a commercial for it.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, located off I-70 between the Sizzler and Coates. Come on down.
But on the other hand, a lot of it just turns out to be bogus. The one in California where people posted Yelp reviews, if you actually search that address on Google Maps, there's nothing there. I tried contacting Scott Cawthon, the guy who created the game, but he never responded. Then I contacted the game's distributor, DeSera, to see if they knew anything. And I'm still waiting for a reply from those guys. All right, well, I've arrived at the address, which is in New Jersey, by the way, but I don't see a Freddy's Fazbear Pizza around here. In fact, I didn't even see a restaurant. I mean, the only thing I see is a liquor store and a big sign with a clown on it. Okay, that one didn't work out too well, but just because that one wasn't there doesn't mean there isn't a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza somewhere. I turned to my research team, the Chewy Piranhas, and asked if they would check government records to see if we could find any businesses matching the name Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I mean, if there really is such a business, they would have to register, right? So they can pay taxes and so forth. Well, guess what? That strategy not only paid off in gold, but in red as well, as in the official answer. Now, you know I'm dying to tell you what's in here, but first, I gotta know what you're thinking right up here, okay? Now, I don't care what time it is or where you are, but what I need you to do is yell out as loud as you can, either real or fake. Now, if you can't do that, it's okay to pause the video here, go to the comment section, leave your answer there, and then come back up here and play the rest of the video to see if you're right. Now, another way, which is one of my favorites, is just to vote right up here. All right, you ready? And go. Okay, did you do it? Good, because in just a few seconds I'm going to open up this envelope and show you what the official answer is. But first, I want to show you a couple other things that came in this week. In this photo, first submitted by Deddy Asher, the men are holding what is claimed to be one of two oarfish that were blown out of a mud volcano in Taiwan. Now, Deddy, as crazy as this sounds, this photo and the story behind it is real. Mud volcanoes are actually real, and there is documented evidence that one has just occurred in Taiwan. Now, how the fish got in the middle of all this is unknown. In this video sent in by Jamie Palmer, Joe Voon, and many others, Chinese fishermen are said to have caught a mystery monster from coastal waters of the East China Sea. Now guys, this video is real, but it isn't an unknown sea monster there. Scientists have identified the beast as what is known as a beaked whale, one of the deepest diving mammals on the planet. Finally, this picture sent in first by Chris Cheung claims to show a real-life Pikachu, you know, as in the Pokemon Pikachu. Chris, this definitely fits my special category known as So Fake It's Funny. The picture is a Photoshop version of this photo. The real photo shows a cougar that was captured by Kenyan villagers because it was eating.
That's not a cougar. Bill, look at the spots. Does that look anything like a cougar to you? That's a fucking cheetah.
Their goats. Man, I cannot believe.
That's a cheetah. What?
The number of people that are out there trying to get us to believe in things that just aren't true. I mean, there is a tsunami of fakery going on out there, people, and we have to do something about it. Like open up this envelope and find out if there's a real Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Are you ready? All right, good, because I know I am. I'm actually kind of hungry, so hopefully it's true. All right, here we go. The various media presented to prove that a real Freddy Fazbear's Pizza place exists has been examined and researched. Well, that's good that you did both. Based on this evidence and various private and governmental databases, it is our conclusion that the photo and its claim are without question, and I can taste that pizza right now, 100% fake. Oh no. Does that mean we're gonna have to eat at Colonel Sanders?
It's the only way that you're going to get chicken that is finger-licking good.
Thanks to Shelby from the Chewy Piranhas Research Group, we learned this picture is actually a Photoshop version of this place. And it isn't in New Jersey, it's in Oregon. Then, after an exhaustive search of business names around the world by Shelby, Aya, and the rest of the Chewy Piranhas, guess what we found? There are no businesses registered with the name Freddy Fazbear's Pizza anywhere in the world, which means it might be a good time to do it since nobody else is using it. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this video. I want to thank everybody for sending their submissions in this week, and I also want to send a special thank.
Yeah, I question why you called it a cougar for some reason. Anyway, now we got this video, Matt's a 1. Here we go. Let's
Base 44 super agents. The next thing you can't live without. No setup. Just say hello.
There are weapons in Half-Life. A lot of them. Some are great, some are terrible. But what's the best one? What's the worst one? Well, let's just see about that. Hello everyone, I'm Max and you read the title. I am indeed rating every single weapon in Half-Life. That includes Half-Life 1, Opposing Force, Half-Life 2, and Half-Life Alyx. It will be on a usual tier list template that I made myself. Before we get into this, reminder that this is just my opinions, and if you disagree, we can have a cool, calm, collected, cordial conversation about it in my comment section. We are first going to start with Half-Life 1 because it's the original, why wouldn't we start with it? And the first ever weapon we get in Half-Life is the one and only Ah yes, the crowbar. Who doesn't love the crowbar? It's awesome. But let's be realistic here for a bit. Is it actually practical? It really is. It's best used on breakable things like windows, vents, boxes, planks, people. Actually, that last part, it's not really that good in that department. Unless the enemy you are hitting is alone, it's pretty hard to kill it without losing a huge chunk of your health. Or maybe a bit more than that. It takes about 3 hits to kill a head crab on hard mode, which is the mode I always play on, and 1 hit to kill it on any other mode. But if you didn't have this thing, then you'd be wasting so many bullets just to break all the barricades in the facility. Also, you get a ton of resources from all the boxes you could break with it. Overall, I think this definitely deserves, low A tier. It's not something you will use all the time, but you will definitely be glad you have it. Next is the pistol, or Glock 17. It's the first firearm you get in the game, and it's not that bad for a starting gun. It gets the job done early on with the aliens you encounter. It is also very accurate at long distances. It can also shoot underwater, but that's not really important as it sucks at killing the only underwater enemy in the game. The one bad thing about this gun, though, is that it's almost completely outclassed by the MP5. You almost never use it after getting the MP5, which I will be getting to in a second. Anyways, I'm gonna give the pistol a solid B tier.
Good idea.
Next up is the shotgun. It's a pretty good weapon to say the least. It's amazing at killing zombies, head crabs, and even people. You just need to be accurate with it. It's best used with its double shot feature, which shoots 2 rounds at once. That makes no sense, but that doesn't matter. It does double damage and can kill most things with a good accurate blast. It also has tons of ammo lying around, so you never really run out of ammo. But now that I think about it, I think the shotgun should go in high B tier. I didn't really find myself using it at all compared to the other weapons, honestly. Sometimes all of the pellets fail to hit, and when you do a double shot, the amount of time it takes to fire another shot is valuable time being wasted, as you are most likely in bad breath distance away from the enemy. Now, moving on to the SMG. Oh, where do I start with this weapon? It's pretty much the second most iconic weapon in the game before the crowbar. You get it fairly early on, and it's basically the main weapon you will use to fight Marines and aliens with throughout the game. It has a huge 50-round magazine, which allows you to just rain bullets constantly on everything. It has better accuracy than you would expect an MP5 to have, with only minor vertical recoil. It also can't shoot underwater, which are the only things the pistol beats the SMG at, but the SMG is better in every other way. And if that wasn't enough, it has a grenade launcher with a plentiful supply of them throughout the game, which stuns Marines and cancels Vortigaunt attacks. Perfect weapon, it's an S tier weapon. Now, the revolver, or the Magnum, or the 357, or the Python Colt, aka my favorite gun in the entire game. This bad boy can one-shot zombies and Marines with a headshot, even on hard mode, which is actually insane when you think about it. It also has a pretty good ammo storage, holding 36 rounds in your inventory. Even though it only has 6 rounds in the chamber, if you can land your headshots, which is not too difficult as this thing is pinpoint accurate, that's just 6 insta-kills in the palm of your hand. It has almost unlimited range too, which makes this a pseudo-sniper rifle. Obvious S tier. If there was a tier above S though, I would put it in there. Next up is the crossbow, and it's a pretty interesting weapon. Anyways, it has a 5-round magazine, and it's basically just a revolver but with a projectile instead of a hit scan. It has a good fire rate, but the goddamn reload time is just pure agony. It can headshot people in hard mode and one-shot people in any other mode, which makes it really strong, just not as strong as you'd think. I'm putting it in high A tier. Up next is, oh my god, the Tau Cannon. I love this thing. It's so good. And the only thing that's holding it back, Tau Cannon. I love this thing. It's so good. And the only thing that's holding it back is its ammo scarcity. You can left click to shoot it normally, which would damage enemies quite a bit, or you can use its charge shot, which is like the main selling point. Charging it up uses more energy, but it's an instant kill for most enemies. It can also go through walls, bounce off walls, although that's not that practical, and can also propel you through the air. Easy S tier. Just below the SMG though, because its use is still very limited. Next up we got, oh god, it's this thing. Oh god, it's this thing. You know what? Yeah, that seems about right. Next up we have the rock. Okay, fine. I'll talk about it. The Hive Hand sucks. A lot. Now the reason why is because of its horrible damage output and unreliableness. The only good thing I can think about is that this weapon has unlimited ammo. It also has a homing bullet thing, but it sucks at homing in on things. I only ended up using it once in Interloper, where I completely ran out of ammo and had no other choice but to use it. Horrible weapon. Do not use. Now we have the rocket launcher, which is about as useful as you would expect a rocket launcher to be. Without it, you can't really kill helicopters, and it's pretty hard to kill tanks and armored vehicles with other explosives. It's also laser guided, and you can toggle it on or off if you want. It insta-kills most things in the game, so I'm gonna give it an A tier, right below the crossbow, only because its ammo is fairly limited throughout the game, so you end up really using it on military vehicles rather than enemies. The last gun we get in the game is the Gluon gun, which is pretty awesome. It almost completely outclasses the Tau Cannon and uses the same ammo as it. It's basically just a death laser that kills almost anything in a few seconds. After all, it has the highest DPS in the entire game. Need I say more? S tier. Now let's move on to the throwables, the first one being the good old grenade. The The grenade is the first throwable weapon you get, and it's a pretty good one. You throw a grenade, you go boom, things die. You can also cook the grenade to give the enemies less reaction time to avoid it. It's also crucial in Blast Pit to distract the tentacles. The only thing I don't like about them is that the trajectory of you throwing them is dependent on where you're moving. Overall, I like these things. B tier. Probably better than the Glock. Now the trip mines, they are... I don't know, because they're extremely finicky and hard to use effectively. In Power Up, they are pretty useful, as there are a bunch of places where you can use them against enemies. You can also use them to completely skip the chapter. After this, though, I didn't really feel like using them again. It wasn't really that effective, so I'm giving it a C tier. Now, satchels are also kind of in the same boat too, in my opinion. Except a bit better since they require less setup and do a ton of damage. But it's also hard to use them without damaging yourself as well, so I really don't use them that much. I'll put them in, like, the top of C tier. Okay, so Snarks are a very interesting weapon. I know a lot of people don't like them, but personally I love them. Sure, they aren't that practical to use, but they are fun. Although they do have very limited use, as they only go after Marines and yourself. They don't go after aliens, and since you get them almost right before you reach Zen, I'm giving them a C tier as well, unfortunately. And yeah, you get them in other games, but there's even less of them in those ones. Way too rare in my opinion. Now let's move on to the exclusive opposing force weapons, starting with the wrench, which is my favorite melee weapon in Half-Life 1 without a doubt. It swings slower, but it deals more damage, and has a charge attack which is just powerful enough to kill a Black Ops soldier in one hit. That's enough to put it in an A tier for sure. Okay, so the knife is basically the crowbar, but it deals slightly more damage, but I'm not gonna put it in A tier as well, since who the hell uses this thing over the wrench? It's pretty much completely outclassed by it in every single way. I don't want to keep D tier lonely, so sorry knife, but you suck and absolutely nobody uses you. D tier. I mean, I guess in a vacuum it's better than the crowbar, but getting the wrench just really puts it down for me. Next, we have the Desert Eagle, which is almost exactly like the revolver, except it has a mag with more ammo in it. And a spam fire mode, which sucks and wastes a ton of ammo, don't use it. It comes with a laser sight, which basically returns it to revolver form. There's one problem though, and that's because you only use it in opposing force. The enemies in the game are way tankier and can take a few more headshots. At least on hard mode. Despite that though, I'm giving it an S tier, but just a little lower than the revolver. Next up is the LMG, which is really awesome. It sucks that you don't get much ammo for it in the beginning, but once you do, oh boy, it's amazing. It kills most things in just a few seconds. Yeah, it also pushes you back a bit, but you can use that to also propel yourself through the air to go a little faster. Waste of ammo? Yeah, but it's fun. Very top of A tier, not S tier because you still use up a lot of its ammo very quickly. Next is the Displacer Cannon. It's another very interesting weapon. It can one-shot kill anything you directly hit with it, and it creates a small shockwave that damages enemies. It can also teleport you to areas with healing pools and suit power.
I remember this.
The ammo for this thing is fairly limited though. But because this game is pretty hard sometimes, the extra health is awesome. The attack is also pretty cool, but you could damage yourself with it very easily, so it's a B tier. You can also kill ichthyosaurs underwater, which is cool, I guess. I mean, it's not really that useful, but you can do that. The barnacle hand is pretty cool. Even though you get it kind of late into the game, it is very helpful for grappling around areas. You literally cannot beat the game without it either. You can also attack enemies with it, but it kind of sucks at doing that, so don't do that. I'm giving it an A tier because of how unique the weapon is compared to all the other weapons in the game. Now we have this thing, which is surprisingly powerful. It has unlimited ammo, as the ammo you get for it is from these little spore things, and they regrow. It shoots explosive spores that deal a ton of damage. It's a projectile though, so it's a bit hard to do direct hits with it. Very cool weapon, I'm giving it a B tier. And here is another weapon that sticks to your arm like the Hive Hand and Barnacle. Except this one is also horrible. For one, the attacks don't deal nearly as much damage as other weapons. On normal mode, it's probably more effective though. But the worst part is that it only recharges ammo while you hold it out. If you have it holstered, it doesn't regen, and that's not good in the middle of a fight. I hate this thing, D tier. At least it's capable of killing something, unlike the Hive Hand though. Now this right here, this is my favorite weapon in the game. Even though you get it near the ending of the game, it is extremely useful. It can headshot anything in the game and kill it in one hit, even on hard mode, which is a pretty big upgrade from the Deagle. You can also zoom in with it, which just makes it feel even cooler. Sad thing is though, the ammo for it is really, really rare, but if you make your shots count, this thing is a beast. absolute S tier. That's all for the first game's weapons. Now let's move on to the weapons from Half-Life 2. I got a lot to say about them. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, feel free to like and comment what tier list you'd like to see me do next. I won't do much of these, but they're always fun to make. First up here is the other crowbar, aka the better one. A lot of what I said before applies to this crowbar as well, with the added bonus of insta-killing any head crab on any difficulty, including poison head crabs, as well as freeing yourself from barnacles in one swing, which I think puts it in an A tier right above the OG crowbar, since you use it a lot during the course of the game. Next up is the pistol, or the USP match. So this one is pretty different from the first pistol. The benefits of this one is that it has a faster fire rate, reload time, and it has a separate ammo supply from the SMG. But the big issues are the range and damage. This thing sucks at range. It's not super accurate like the pistol in the first game either. Its damage is also pretty low, which means that it's only good at killing Metro Cops at the beginning of the game, and that's really it. It's pretty much completely outclassed by the MP7 too. It is an okay starting weapon though, so I'll give it a high C tier. Oh boy, alright, so this is where I think a lot of people will disagree with me, because I absolutely despise the SMG in this game, which sounds crazy, but hear me out. Once you get it, sure, it's fun to use, because it's so much better than the pistol. It can kill Metro Cops fairly easily, but then you start fighting at a range, and then you realize that you just used an entire mag of ammo and not one of them are dead. That's why I hate this thing. Anything beyond close to mid-range is almost impossible to kill in a timely manner. Hell, even mid-range is pushing it a bit. And that's only with Metro Cops. It's almost useless against Combine soldiers. It takes like 2 full mags to take one down, at least on hard mode. But even on normal mode, it sucks a bit at killing them. I know you're thinking, duh, Max, don't use the SMG from range, dummy. Well, obviously you shouldn't, but the game ends up making you anyway. Specifically in Water Hazard. Once you run out of Magnum ammo, you gotta shoot at them from a distance. Maybe you could use the pistol, but that isn't good at it either from range. Oh wait, but then you could say, just use it for short range then, idiot. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. You can do that in like the beginning of the game when you first get it. But after Water Hazard, you get the gravity gun, which is, oh, wait until I talk about that one. And the shotgun, which are so much better in close range combat. The saving grace is the grenade launcher, which is pretty effective, and the fact that the ammo for this gun is really plentiful. So at least you won't run out of ammo. That saves it from being in C tier. But there's just something about this that just really ticks me off about the SMG and being forced to fight from a slight range. I hate it, so the most I'm giving it is a B tier. Next up is the 357 again, and yes, this one is also an S tier. Even higher actually than the regular revolver, since the fact it can one-shot Combine soldiers with a headshot. And the fact that it can just one-shot Metro Cops no matter what makes it even more valuable. The only gripe I have with this gun is that it has very low ammo reserves, and the ammo is relatively rare, but it's so good. Now, I don't know about you, but for some reason the shotgun in this game feels so much better than the first game. Like, it's so much more powerful and useful. In tight spaces, it's just amazing. The double-barrel blast one-shot kills Combine soldiers too if you land your shots. The reload is also much more faster, which is a huge plus. S tier. Next up is the pulse rifle. This thing is a good gun. Now, it does share a little bit of the problems with the SMG, but it does more damage and has slightly more accuracy, which makes it way better at mid-range combat. It also comes with a little thing that shoots Combine balls, or balls of energy that can insta-kill anything it touches. And there is nothing more satisfying than destroying a whole group of soldiers with it. It would be an S tier, but because of its low ammo reserve, I had to keep going back and using that damn SMG after running out of ammo for it. So, A tier. Next up, we have the Resistance crossbow, which funnily enough is better than the crossbow in the first game. It holds one arrow at a time, but the reload is pretty fast compared to the old one. It also insta-kills anything it hits, which makes it an amazing weapon. Also, bonus points for being able to pin people to walls with it, despite it breaking the laws of physics. It might be a bit hard to hit shots with it since it's a projectile, but that just makes it a skill issue, so S tier. Now, is it better than the sniper rifle?
Maybe.
Nah, the projectile thing is kind of holding it back. The same could be said about this rocket launcher compared to the previous one, except this one has multiple supply boxes with infinite ammo, and you cannot toggle off the laser-guided rockets. I don't know why, but I really like this one more than the other one. It feels more fun, less clunky. It's hard to describe. It is also required to kill aerial threats and striders, which it does a pretty good job at, so high A tier. Next up are grenades,
alright.
and honestly,
It's a
I don't
good
like these
weapon.
as much as the OG ones, mainly because you can't cook them. You can toss them though, and they don't depend on your momentum. They're pretty good at clearing out snipers and choke points, so I'll give it a B tier as well, right below normal grenades. Next up is the bug bait. There's not much to say about this one, actually. Throwing it summons a bunch of ant lions to go fight for you. It's useful in sand traps and part of Nova Prospect. After that, absolutely useless. It's pretty good as a brain-dead weapon as it has unlimited ammo, and the ant lions are pretty useful too. But the fact that it becomes useless after those chapters is just a really big letdown, so B tier. And last, but not least, the gravity gun.
Yes, the gravity gun.
I mean, do I even have to explain
It is
why?
the best
I could go on and
weapon.
on about this thing, but I'm pretty sure everyone can agree that
It's
this is the best
iconic.
weapon in the entire game. Want me to list out why this thing is awesome? Well, here we go. It's a very useful tool for getting rid of props on the way. It has unlimited ammo. Big props practically insta-kill anything. Ravenholm. You can saw multiple zombies in half of it. Explosive barrels can be thrown with it. It's funny. You can knock over ant lions with it. You can block ant lions with it. You can kill ant lions with it. Grenades can be picked up and thrown back. It gets supercharged and you can pick up Combine with it. You can flip over the buggy. It turns manhacks into an absolute joke. It can fling away head crabs. You can disable mines with it. It helps keep your turrets up. Ravenholm. The Magnuson device 1-2 combo. Supply crates. Power supplies. I like the gravity gun. And as for all the Half-Life Alyx weapons, I'm putting all the guns in A tier and the grenades in B tier. Except the Zen grenade. I think all of them are very well made and useful in their own right, which may sound pretty generic, but honestly there isn't much to say about them. The grenades are definitely better than both of the other grenades since you can cook them and use them on a grenade attachment for the shotgun. As for the Zen grenade, the only reason why I'm putting them lower is because they are exclusive to only 1 and 2 areas of the game, and I actually never used them in the first time I played because I had no idea how to actually get them. But that's all of them. Thank you for watching till the end of this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and comment what you agree or disagree with. And check out my other videos.
I'll be right back. I just gotta do something quick. Okay, so the next video is made by Dalek Bums. Thank you, Max the One, for making it. Thank you, Max the One, for making that previous video. Let's have a look at this one.
In my previous video, I showcased a few of the custom Dalek designs that I've made over the years, and it got me thinking, what other great fan-made Dalek designs are there that we can talk about? So, I asked my community on the Dalek Bumps Discord server to send in their ideas, and we got a lot of entries, and quite a diverse variety of creative projects too. Customs, renders, fan lore, drawings, models, all sorts. So today, we are going to be looking at 10 terrific Dalek designs made by Doctor Who fans from the Dalek Bumps community. Please note that this isn't a ranking, the entries here are presented in no particular order. We have 10 main items to showcase here, and then a few more extras at the end. So without further ado, let's get stuck in with the first entry on our list. JSP's Dalek Architect. The Dalek Architect has been the second in command of the Dalek Empire since the days of the renegade Imperial Dalek Civil War, serving under the Dalek Prime. However, it mostly worked behind the scenes, only making its presence known when it was needed by the Emperor. The Architect was one of the few
that
Daleks
looks
with its
really
own
good,
individual
I'm not gonna
identity
lie, I
thanks to
like
the Time
it.
Controller, and it was one of the first Daleks to be able to imagine
Dalek
similar to the Cult of
Architect.
Skaro. In the lead up to the Time War, it was the first Dalek to adopt the standard NSD casing, after perfecting it to give the Daleks the ability to mass produce strong casings to combat the Time Lords. The Architect designed many Dalek installations including the Crucible, and in one possible timeline it battled the 15th Doctor in another Dalek invasion of Earth and eventually caused the Doctor to regenerate. However, its ultimate fate is unknown. This Dalek has been a staple of the Dalek Bumps Discord server for a while now, so I couldn't not include it here. The design is based on the Dalek Commander, possibly Saucer Commander, from the Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD movie, starring Peter Cushing and Bernard Cribbins. Next up we have Dalek Time Strategist's post-Trenzalore Dalek Prime design.
That looks
Following the 11th Doctor's
brilliant.
regeneration that destroyed the Dalek Parliament, the Time Strategist began searching for a new Dalek leader and decided to rescue Dalek X, the former Dalek Inquisitor General from the Second Dalek War, and install him as leader. Donning a brand new gold and black Dalekanium casing and commanding a new flagship, the Eviscerator, Dalek X essentially took the place.
Imagine this design. Holy shit, this design looks incredible.
To the former Dalek Prime.
Imagine what I would
the game station.
Imagine what I would look like with that badass
If New Who ever
casing.
brings back the spherical Emperor design, this or something like it will be the ideal design choice to update it for the modern era. Next on the list is Ainsworth's The Dalek Descendant design. This Dalek design was based on the original 60s design, but more scientific or medical, and therefore more fragile, as if it had been built purely for survival and not to conquer. I think this design looks fantastic. It's a great illustration of how the classic series Dalek design could be updated for New Who, without changing much about the base look. It also taps into an interesting aspect of modern Dalek lore that hasn't really been explored fully yet. The idea introduced in Series 9 that there are Daleks living on Skaro who use older style casings, possibly due to the fact that they are so far behind the front lines, bunkered down in the security of their city, that they don't need the bulky bronze casings, and instead opt to use whichever casing suits them for their particular role. Up next we have Starm's Daleklorian. This is a great one. A Doctor Who Star Wars crossover. A Dalek with Mandalorian helmet motifs in place of the standard eye stalk, and a fearsome looking melee weapon with a green energy. I love the gunstick design on this one as well.
That looks awesome.
The Mandalorian T-shaped helmet actually does look really
Oh my god, that looks
There are some elements
good.
to this design that I'd actually like to see on a canonical Dalek.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
a different method of vision in place of the eye stalk is interesting. It reminds me of the Imperial Dalek Emperor in some ways. And I'm also a fan of the front plating on the dome that hangs over the neck like an extra piece of armour. Something like that would be really fitting for a Supreme Dalek or some other kind of Dalek leader.
yeah.
Next up we have
yeah.
Squid 1562's Lego Dalek. This is among the best Lego Dalek builds that I've ever seen, and the fact that it's to scale with the fire piece to allow for that fantastic flamethrower attachment is just brilliant.
Good.
I've always loved Lego ever since I was a kid, and it's a bit disappointing that aside from a single set and several minifigures released as part of the Lego Dimensions wave, there haven't been any dedicated Doctor Who sets made by Lego. It's great to see that fans are using Lego to create custom Doctor Who sets, and this one is easily one of my favourites.
that looks good.
Next on the list is DevCake Productions' Rebuilding Faction.
Productions.
This is an interesting
Oh
take
my
on the
God,
standard Dalek
these look
design. There are two
incredible,
possible
DevCake.
backstories for it too. If the Rebuilding Faction are classified as their own era of Dalek, they would likely have been reliant on
These are really
collaboration and
good.
manipulation of other races to achieve their goals. Alternatively, if they were a subgroup within the pre-existing empire, they would be a smaller subgroup whose purpose was to reinforce and restore crumbling Dalek systems, be they fringe Dalek outposts in need of repair, or planets in their territory that have low Dalek influence. I like this design. It's almost like an alternate version of how the New Who Daleks might have looked if the design had been tweaked a bit more to include elements from the 80s. The more upright skirt section reminds me of the Imperial and Renegade Daleks. We've got a custom Dalek up next, Squiddy's Death Squad Dalek Leader. This custom is a great alternate look for the Death Squad Dalek Leader from Revolution of the Daleks. It's often said among the fandom that the leader Dalek from that story should have had a more distinct design, and this colour scheme is a great example of what it could have looked like. I'm a particular fan of this one as the colours are reminiscent of the Renegade Dalek Supreme, one of my favourite Dalek colour schemes. A small detail on this custom that I really like is the fact that the silver on the gun boxes wraps around to the side, filling out the indented section. It just adds to the colour balance and gives the figure a really distinctive flair. Next up we're looking at Admiral Terence Screed's Imperial Daleks. In a different timeline where the Renegade Imperial Dalek Civil War spiralled on and continued for centuries, if not millennia, new kinds of Daleks began to emerge. The Imperial Daleks created the Imperial Sector Commanders, high-ranking Daleks with white, gold and black casings. They were selected for their positions by the Imperial Supreme Council to lead large operations of Imperial Daleks. Donning a black and gold casing, they are deadly foes against many enemies of the Imperial Daleks. However, they tend to spend their large numbers of soldiers in wave attacks against more veteran Renegade Daleks. As you can probably tell from my previous video on Dalek fan lore, I love alternate timeline interpretations of the Dalek Civil War, and this is a great reimagining of the Imperial faction. It stays faithful to the design philosophy of Imperial Daleks, but with some elements of the Time War design included as well. Next up we have Gorky's 90s Dalek. This is a take on what the Daleks might have looked like in the 90s. The dome lights were inspired by the Death Zone Dalek from the Five Doctors, while the gunstick is actually a semi-return to the original 60s design with added detailing found on those early designs. The eye stalk is essentially a mix of elements of the 80s and NSD versions, and the eye stalk rings are NSD while the size of the stalk is similar to that of the 80s props. If Doctor Who had continued into the 90s, I've no doubt that either a reboot or a back-to-basics form of the series would have happened. One way or the other, chances are we would have seen Daleks similar to this at some point.
Daleks, please.
It makes me wonder whether the new series should consider a refresh of the standard Dalek design, as all these fantastic fan-made designs prove that there are lots of different ways to interpret the Daleks, some of which are yet to be explored on TV. Next up is Zendiatrix's Imperial Empire. Due to a switch in timelines, Davros ended up working under the Imperial Empire as a high-ranking scientist with the free will to do insane experiments as long as they guaranteed the Empire's supremacy. These experiments resulted in the creation of a new group of Imperial
Galactic
Daleks,
Empire,
created to serve under the Emperor's rule and work alongside stormtroopers to ensure galactic domination. This custom is fantastic, and the photography of Imperial Stormtrooper figures is excellent. Doctor Who and Star Wars are two of my favourite franchises, and I love that there is so much overlap between the fandoms of both, which gives us great projects like this one. If the Daleks were on the back foot, I could see them striking up some kind of temporary alliance with the Galactic Empire, similar to how the Dalek survivors of the Mavellan War relied on mercenaries and duplicates to do their bidding in Resurrection of the Daleks. That's an aspect of Dalek history that's always fascinated me. Obviously, my personal preference will be seeing the Daleks utterly eradicating the Galactic Empire in some kind of cross-franchise battle, but an alliance between the two is also interesting. And that concludes our showcase of 10 fantastic fan-made Dalek designs made by the Dalek Bumps community. The sheer passion and imagination on display here is brilliant. The diverse and creative range of fan projects that the Doctor Who fandom has produced over the years never ceases to amaze me. And these are just some more fantastic examples of Dalek fans reinterpreting the Daleks in different ways, something that I always love to see. Well done to everyone who submitted entries for this list. I couldn't showcase them all in this video, but there will most likely be a follow-up to this video later on down the line.
Oh my goodness, that Emperor design.
In the meantime, the pictures you'll see now are some of the other entries that caught my eye. If you're interested in getting involved with the next Dalek Fan Designs competition, or if you want to chat with other Dalek fans about Doctor Who and other things, check out the link in the description to join the Dalek Bumps Discord server. There's also a link to my Patreon, where you can contribute to the channel with a monthly donation of £2.50, which is greatly appreciated. What do you think? Which of the Daleks shown in this video is your favourite? Do you have an idea for a fan-made Dalek design, rank or character? Let me know in the comments below.
Dalek I like the design, it was very cool. Anyway, now we gotta have a look at Blunt Brothers Productions video.
Dave's just you.
Let's have a look at this. This is called All You Can Eat. All quickly go to Blunt Brothers. When is Godzilla vs. Monkey? Oh. That T-Rex is paved. Yeah, I know. Not too good. Good video, by the way, not gonna lie. So now we got these Dre in motion videos. Let's have a look at all of them. Oh shit. Oh crap. Balls, man. Yeah, that's cool. Got another video. Oh, this is another dream motion. So this guy makes Star Wars animations. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. Ah, that's a Rebel flyby thing, is it? Cool. Oh, yeah, these look good. I like them. I like them. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna allow that. That's copyrighted music. Oh damn! Oh damn! Asteroid escape. What's this? Dark Skull Starfighter. A bounty onto the Pikes. Doesn't matter who sent them, right? So the Pikes sent them apparently, by the looks of things. Cool. Damn good job. Oh, good video, good selection of videos. Now we got this.
It's the evening of November the 5th, 1940, and a group of British ships are racing across the Atlantic to resupply Britain.
Okay.
In the middle of the convoy is a single armed merchant cruiser, the HMS Jervis Bay. A call comes over the bridge.
Unidentified ship spotted. Hard to port.
Captain Edward Fagan immediately orders the Jervis Bay to turn towards the ship and out of the center of the convoy. He orders a challenge signal to be flashed across the waves.
Send the code.
Seconds pass as they wait for the ship to respond. But the mystery vessel sends back the exact same challenge message. The British know that no friendly ship would answer in that way. It must be the Germans.
Sound action stations.
Alarms ring out across the Jervis Bay as men rush to their posts, manning guns and preparing the ship for battle.
Oh dear.
Back on the bridge, Fagan's blood runs cold as he realizes what he's looking at.
It's a pocket battleship.
It's KMS Admiral Scheer, one of Germany's most formidable warships. She's bristling with guns and bears enough firepower to devastate the convoy. HMS Jervis Bay is no match for a pocket battleship. A direct engagement will only end one way. But if he can just keep the Scheer from getting close to the convoy, then maybe he can buy time for them to escape.
Get the convoy away. Send up the flares and lay down the smoke.
Aye, sir.
The evening gloom is illuminated by a burning red glow as Jervis Bay launches her signal flares high into the sky. The merchant ships break out of their columns and begin turning to starboard. The captains strain the engines and rudders to the limits as they work hard to avoid collision with one another. Aboard Jervis Bay, sailors throw smoke floats into the water and huge clouds of grey smoke billow into the air. In seconds, the convoy disappears behind the haze. Fagan knows what he has to do.
Turn to starboard, make full speed, and close the distance.
HMS Jervis Bay charges directly towards the enemy, drawing all attention to herself. 10 nautical miles away, on the Scheer, Kapitan Zerzej Theodor Kranke and his ship power forward to close the distance with the seemingly defenseless convoy when a message comes in.
Kapitän, eines der Handelsschiffe greift an. Es sieht aus wie ein Dampfliner.
Haben die überhaupt Waffen?
Wenn ja, dann sind sie nicht so groß wie unsere, Herr Kapitän.
Hard backboard.
Kranke orders a turn to port, bringing the ship's broadside to bear.
Oh boy.
On HMS Jervis Bay, Captain Fagan can see his enemy lining up the first salvo. Confident the merchant ships are now hidden from German guns, Fagan gives the order.
Open fire!
At the forward gun, able seaman Sam Patience rams a shell into the breach, but the enemy's still not in range of the Jervis Bay's puny 6-inch guns. Sam watches on the horizon, and the thunder of Admiral Scheer's 11-inch guns tears across the sky. It takes more than 20 seconds for the shells to come whistling down to sea, splashing home in front of their bow and kicking up huge columns of water.
Oh dear.
Shop Summer Beauty at Look Fantastic.
With Bonus Drop Boost, you get a chance to win each day. It's free to play. Drop a disc to start building your Friday boost.
The German gunners are finding their target, and the Scheer immediately fires off a second salvo with an enormous roar. Huge columns of spray are kicked up as rounds fall close behind.
They've got us bracketed!
Fire!
The massive guns fire their third salvo. And this time, it's a direct hit. The bridge is torn apart by a mighty explosion. Fagan reaches down to pick himself off the floor, but the pain in his shoulder is excruciating. It's at this point he realizes his arm is missing. But despite losing a limb, he's determined to fight on, and he descends painfully down to the deck, clinging to another sailor for support. Shells continue to land every few seconds, and soon the entire superstructure begins to crumble under the repeated explosions. An incoming round even blasts away the white ensign flying from the main mast. The crew look up as shards of wood and glowing embers cascade down to the deck, and the tattered white flag flutters down. But the British crew stay calm. They've drilled for this situation, and now the training takes over. Firefighting teams battle the raging blaze with hoses. Surviving gunners stay at their posts. A sailor dashes past and climbs up the shattered mast with the help of a crewmate and nails up a fresh white ensign. There's a rousing cheer from the surviving British crewmen. Fagan fights through the searing pain as he considers his next move.
Hold your position! They're lining up another salvo!
It's a game.
He sees that the Sheer has begun firing its secondary 6-inch guns at the fleeing merchant ships. Jervis Bay's continued resistance is the only thing stopping the German ship from unleashing its main guns on the convoy. Fagan pulls himself to his feet. With the bridge destroyed, he's got to get to the rear control compartment. From there, he can steer the ship and issue orders. His body's close to failing, but he moves as fast as he can, supported by a crewmate. Meanwhile, Sam and his team are firing off their weapon as rapidly as they can. He rams another round home and waits for the blast. The shell arcs away, and Sam watches as it plunges harmlessly into the water. The Sheer remains untouched.
We might as well be throwing spuds.
They may not be inflicting any damage, but they know that every round keeps Sheer from closing in, buying precious time for the convoy to escape. Sam readies himself to send another round downrange, but suddenly, he's blown off his feet by an enormous, shuddering blast. He feels a sharp stabbing pain and slams down onto the deck. Then his world goes black. On the Sheer, Captain Kranke watches the fires burn across Jervis Bay. It's still blocking his most direct route to the merchant ships, and despite the damage, a single 6-inch gun keeps firing in its direction. The British shells do no harm, but the risk of a lucky hit plays on his mind, so he can't just sail past. Neither does he have the time to bypass her.
Wenn dieses Schiff sich nicht ergibt, muss es vernichtet werden.
Sam comes round slowly, waking up to the chaos of battle. Through fogged eyes, he watches as the captain slowly makes his way along the deck to the rear control compartment. If Fagan gets there, he'll be able to steer the ship and issue orders. Maybe he can get them out of this. Sam watches and shouts encouragement.
Come on, sir!
Oh, shit.
Fagan finally approaches his destination as a German shell flies in. The room is blasted apart. Sam braces himself against the force of the blast and looks on in horror as Fagan disappears into a whirl of flames and shrapnel. Sam clings to the rail as the smoke clears and shapes start to emerge from the gloom. Peering through the swirling battle, he finally sees the body of his captain lying motionless.
Well,
the next salvo comes in seconds, striking home and tearing into the ship. Flames burst up from below decks, inflicting the final crippling blow. Jervis Bay shudders, lurches, and then begins to list as water rushes into the hull.
Abandon ship!
All around, sailors put on their lifebelts and begin evacuating. Dazed and injured, Sam suddenly finds himself alone. All the lifeboats have been deployed. His only option is to jump. He stares down into the icy water. Like many others on board, he can't swim.
Gotta get out of here.
But then he spots one last lifebuoy sitting in its case. Bracing through the pain, he limps across the deck and hurls himself at the buoy. He pulls at the case, straining every muscle, but the buoy just won't budge. Sam can feel the ship shifting beneath him. Every second brings him closer to an icy grave. He musters all his strength and pulls again. And this time, the buoy comes free. Sam jumps. He crashes down into the water, breaking through the surface and feeling the air knocked out from his lungs. He fights with all his strength, kicking and pulling himself until he reaches the surface, gasping and coughing. He takes a quick look at the sinking Jervis Bay, and he's horrified to see there are still men on board who can't swim and won't risk jumping in. He's no idea where to go. Perhaps he can find one of the lifeboats. Already shivering, he begins paddling away into the night. On the bridge of the Sheer, Captain Kranker can't help but admire the sacrifice of the enemy crew.
Gott weiß, diese Männer haben sich ihr Land verdient gemacht.
But now he can start the pursuit. Peering into the dark, he spots SS Rangitiki, a large transport ship steaming away in the distance. He sets course and begins the hunt.
Hart Steuerbord. Feuer auf den dicksten Brocken.
Rangitiki twists and turns, changing course to try and avoid the German warship. But the Sheer launches a salvo and scores a direct hit on the ship's stern. Rangitiki is badly hit and trailing columns of black smoke. Kranker's confident that he's bagged his second kill of the evening, but then watches in frustration as the massive ship disappears into a smokescreen. Night falls, and a few miles away, Sam struggles in the freezing water. His injuries are agonizing, and the cold stabs him like 1,000 tiny needles. He doesn't know how much longer he can keep this up. But then, he spots a small shape in the dark, and hears familiar voices drifting across the waves. There are men in a lifeboat looking for survivors. He paddles himself closer, fighting through the waves. Using the last of his energy, he drags himself up into the boat. Sam collapses exhausted among the feet of his fellow sailors, and the men huddle together for a long, cold night.
Outsmart the market with Base 44 super agents. Set up in seconds and ready to...
They watch as HMS Jervis Bay finally slips beneath the waves. The white ensign that they had proudly erected is the last thing to disappear. All that's left behind is a field of debris, and the men who didn't make it out alive. In the distance, they can see the flashes and hear the echoing booms as KMS Admiral Shear chases down another merchant ship. Flashes of light blaze on the horizon as a German pocket battleship fires off another salvo. Explosions tear through the sky as a merchantman is hit and starts going down. But on the bridge of the Sheer, Captain Kranker grows impatient. He spent so long fighting HMS Jervis Bay that now he's hunting in the pitch black. Finding the merchant ships is taking far too long, and he's running low on ammunition.
Stellt den Angriff ein. Wir jagen hier Gespenster.
KMS Admiral Shear slips away into the vastness of the ocean.
Never thought it would be so cold.
Silence descends upon the North Atlantic. The men in the lifeboat know that the chance of rescue is low. The merchant ships have strict orders to continue to Britain. But hours later, the survivors spot lights approaching. It looks like rescuers arrived.
Help us!
The men shout and wave their arms.
We are here!
As a big boat comes alongside, they hear strains of a foreign language.
What is it there?
They glance around nervously. Are they about to become prisoners? But the ship isn't German. It's the Swedish freighter Stora Horn. The ship's crew haul the freezing men up onto the deck. Altogether, Stora Horn and her men save 68 of Jervis Bay's 256-man crew and deliver them safely to Canada. The British ship's heroic sacrifice allowed for almost all of the merchant ships to escape from the KMS Admiral Shear. For his bravery, Captain Fagan was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross.
The Germans didn't all have it their own way. Click here to see how the British sank the Scharnhorst.
Cool. Anyway, my fellow subjects, hope you enjoyed this video today. Thank you, Yarn Hub, for making this video. Anyway, farewell, viewers.